The following podcast is recommended for mature audiences only. The following podcast is recommended for adults only. Maturity is not a requirement.
Hello and welcome to episode 7 of Dear Download, a podcast where we get to share our most intimate and treasured memories of Download Festival. We'll talk about each year, the bands we saw, the bands we missed, and everything else noteworthy that happened across the weekend. Also, we'll touch upon any news, other festivals, and the music industry past, present and future. I'm Adam and I'm here with Simon.
Hello and good day to you, sir.
Cool, so this week we are talking about the new Iron Maiden album, Senjutsu, the Download Festival announcement from earlier in the week, and we'll also touch a little bit on Slam Dunk Festival, which is happening as we speak.
Indeed.
How are you? How have you been doing, man? How's your last couple of weeks been since we last spoke?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. Not much happening really. Just working, coming back. I've spent this entire weekend sitting on the sofa playing GTA. So
yeah, which one?
Not much. 5. Because I obviously played it and absolutely rinsed it on the 360, but I never got it on the PS4. So it's so cheap now. It was like £12.50 for like the Ultimate Edition with everything pretty much. So
Yeah.
I downloaded that for like 12 quid. So me and Vicky have literally just been sitting on the sofa playing GTA.
Nice. Is it co-op? Oh, can you play two people at once?
No, you can play online.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do the co-op thing anymore. I don't think you could do that on thingy. But yeah, you can play with anyone that's got PlayStation basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's decent. It's good. It's really, really fun actually. We're having a good laugh doing it, although it's a bit harder than I remember. But the cool thing about what was then the next gen ones when it was on the 360 is you can do first person on the PS4.
Oh, really?
And the game just looks so nice. I mean, I know it's so old now, but it's still one of the nicest looking games. It's just incredible the amount of detail they've put into it. So yeah, just having fun doing that really. That's it. And and then obviously just getting excited for this sort of Maiden special because me and you just discussed on many occasions how much big Iron Maiden fans we are. So
last episode I did actually say that we'll be going back to 2003 this episode, but I forgot to get hold of the guy again. I messaged him today actually to talk about Metallica's Secret Set in 2003, and we're going to hopefully work out a date that he can come and record, and then we'll hopefully get him on for next episode.
Sweet, wicked.
But yeah, so we changed it up again. But GTA 5, man. I've only ever played GTA San Andreas, and it was awesome. I loved it.
Yeah, it's a great game.
And I was like, I'm going to play every single GTA that comes out after this. And I never did. I never did. But do you remember...
GTA 4 is good, and GTA 5 is just off the hook.
Yeah. Do you remember I said, I think it was last episode, where that I was obsessed with Cradle of Filth song, Nymphetamine.
Yeah.
I think I quite enjoyed Her Ghost in the Fog as well. And I remembered I listened to that song so much while playing San Andreas. Yeah, that song reminds me of San Andreas, and San Andreas reminds me of that song.
Yeah, Cradle of Filth and San Andreas. Yeah, they always go hand in hand. I always I always put those two together.
Awesome. Yeah. But yeah, no climbing this time then?
No, I actually was going to go climbing yesterday, but then I split my finger open, and trying to climb while you've got a hole in the top of your finger is not a good idea. I will just bleed everywhere. So I'm going to wait for that to heal, and then I'm going to probably try some climbing next Sunday.
No, that's cool, man. I haven't really had a lot going on either, to be fair. It's spider season at work. Out and about. It's horrible. It's really horrible. Yeah, I had to walk through so many spider webs and cobwebs.
Do you ever, I get that. Do you ever do that thing? Do you have to like put your hand forward when you go through someone's gate? Just so you don't, so you just get rid of the. So it just looks like you're doing all these really weird chops everywhere you're going, like car, like you're in a fucking Bond film or something.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, but You also get like the spiders that sort of hang a web down and then jump
Yeah.
and see where they land, and they go like, all right, I'm gonna build a web here. I've had so many of them just sort of hit me in the face. Oh, it's horrible.
Are you not a fan of spiders then?
No, I'm not. I'm not a fan of spiders at all. We had a big one in the house actually for the first time a couple of days ago as well. We got a little spider catcher, but yeah, it was a big one, like that big.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I looked them up. They're like the giant. What are they called? They're called giant house spiders. The ones with like the little beady eyes that could poke out.
Big boys.
We never used to get them when we. I don't know about you, but we never used to get them when we were younger. I'd never.
I don't know.
Those big
I remember
ones.
sitting on the sofa with like mum and my sister, and all of a sudden, actually Vicky done it not too long ago. You'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden they'll start screaming like, and you'll be like, what, like freaking out because you don't know what's going on and what's happening. And then they're like spider, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake! So then I have to get it. You can get it in the cup, get a bit of paper under it, put it. See, I don't mind spiders that much. You know, no one likes them crawling all over them. If one's on me, I'm like, oh, fuck's sake. But
yeah,
I could get them on my hand. I could pick them up. I'm really not too bothered. So I'm the one that has to get rid of them all if they come into our house. But I can understand why people don't like them. Like, do you know who I know who has the biggest fear of spiders is Adam Leader.
I was gonna guess Adam Leader.
Yeah, we had Leader. So Leader is a good friend of mine, and Adam knows him now from In Search of Sun, and we had him on the show a couple of episodes ago, and he will scream, and I mean scream, and run out of a room. It is
really
the funniest thing ever when you see him and the spiders in the same room. He will flip out. It's incredible. It's great.
I used to be worse than I am now. When I moved in with Kelly, I had to kind of step up and be the one who gets rid of spiders, kind of unwillingly, I would say.
Yeah. Oh, no one really loves them in the house, but I guess they're a part of life. They're not too much of a nuisance. At least in this country, we don't have any horribly poisonous ones, so we're all right, aren't they?
No, that's true. But I don't know. Have you ever heard in Canada when they got snow on the drives or on the paths up to the house, they legally have to clear that snow away. I think we should make that law in this country that people have to go out and clear their gardens, their front gardens or whatever of spiders. Yeah. It should become
we'll
law.
try and get that one signed. Yeah, we'll get down to the council tomorrow and start putting the papers through.
Yeah, definitely. What else? Nothing. Not else much. Already has been going on. Obviously, the Iron Maiden album. I've been asking people in work what they think about it. Not people that like Iron Maiden, just anybody and everybody. You just go up to them and say, "So, have you been enjoying Iron Maiden's new album?" And they're like, "I hate Iron Maiden," sort of thing. Who?
Well, I sent you that picture yesterday when I was, or was it Friday yesterday? I can't remember. When I was I went and nipped into HMV, and they had the big Eddie out the front. So I quickly took a snap, and then obviously I sent it to you. And then there was a lot of other people were going up to it and taking photos. So
yeah.
And then I saw on Iron Maiden's thing, they said, "Oh, you know, your sort of local record store should have a big Eddie outside." I think they've done like a massive sort of media campaign to try and make this as big as possible. Because in HMV they had like vinyls, cups, T-shirts, little Eddies. They had like pretty much everything that you could get that was Iron Maiden. So I think they're really trying to push this album as much as they can. Yeah, because I guess bands don't really make that much money off music anymore, so they're like trying to squeeze the last drops out of the music industry.
Yeah, I found out it was Thursday night actually, the night before it released. I saw a friend, and he said apparently Asda have an exclusive offer. They got the new beer and a T-shirt and the album, but ours doesn't. The nearest one to us also is Taunton. They don't have it.
Oh, okay. I might nip to the one in Cheltenham after work tomorrow then and have a look.
Yeah, but yeah, I couldn't believe I'd not even heard about that at all.
I saw someone had posted on the download Facebook saying, "Oh, Asda are selling Iron Maiden shirts." So I was like, "Oh, okay," but I just haven't had a chance to go at the weekend because I've been too attached to the couch. Not that I haven't had time; I've just been too fucking lazy. But I will go on the way back home from work tomorrow. I need to grab a few bits anyway. I'll go to Asda and see if they've got anything. If they've got a T-shirt, I'll buy one.
Awesome. Do you know, it's always kind of bothered me when people try and make it sound cool. You know, when I listened to another podcast where the guy, when they ask what they've been doing, and he's just like, I've just been at home chilling, man, you know. And I'm like, you've just been doing nothing. You're not just at home chilling. You've done nothing. You just say you've done nothing. You don't have to build it up and try and be the coolest person.
Yeah, I suppose there's nothing wrong with just saying you're doing nothing. It's fine.
Yeah.
You can just do nothing. Or I don't know, I do say chill, or sometimes I say chillax to people. That's probably a bit lame.
That's a bit old now.
Yeah, what you do? I'm just gonna go home and chillax. I don't know.
Anyway, what else? I've got loads and loads of stuff written down for the news here.
Okay, do the news.
Fucking loads of news, actually. Yeah. So some of it I might not be able to speak too much about. It's not like I'm not going to reel through articles or whatever. I still haven't had anything from Ronnie, so I was going to say, fuck you, Ronnie. We're going to go straight into it. We're not going to wait for you to talk us in to the news.
No, just go straight into it, man. Give me some news.
Well, I mean, the guy from the Nevermind album. I'm sure you've seen that all over the internet.
Yeah, of course. I love that because there's these other like artists with all the pictures of like babies and stuff on their covers, and they're all like, oh,
yeah.
No, I mean it's never gonna go through, is it? It's just he's trying to squeeze money out of it, but it's never gonna. He's never actually gonna get any money from it. It's gonna be a massive waste of everyone's time. So
yeah. I have actually got written down about the other the parodies that people have been doing for it. Somebody put up the Pantera album, Vulgar Display of Power. I never noticed there's a guy being punched in the face. I thought it was just an arm.
No, that's the main bit. Yeah,
I didn't know that about the cover until somebody posted it. I was like, oh yeah, there is a guy being punched in the face there.
Great cover.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, going back to the Nevermind guy, I don't know. I've seen some people posting some interesting arguments about how he should get money for it, he should be trying to get something for it.
But why?
I can't remember now. I usually try to avoid hot topics like this because I'm rubbish with vocabulary. You know, I like to learn. I like to learn with in these kind of situations, and I'll read as many different like sort of sides of it as possible. But yeah, like I said, there's just been a couple that have been sort of arguing for him, and I just thought, yeah, I kind of get where you're coming from. All the people that are against it have just been like, he's just out for money, what a dickhead sort of thing. But
I mean, yeah, he is, yeah. So
yeah,
but yeah, that bit's correct. But
yeah,
I don't know. You know, at the time, obviously he was a baby, so it would have been his parents that had given the permission for them to be on the cover. And I'm sure at some point they would have had to sign something to say that they're okay with that. So I can't see how this guy's going to get any money from it. It doesn't make sense to me how. No. It's also one of the most legendary album covers of all time.
Yeah.
And obviously, yes, it's a baby's penis, but if you have kids or if you don't have kids, it's just a fucking album cover, man. I mean, get a grip, but that's the way that the world's going. Soon you're going to get sued by just saying something to someone. So it's just got to the sort of things of lunacy now, but it's just going to keep on going and going and going until everyone makes money off of someone else. But I guess that's just the way the world is. Hey, listen, if I had something I could sue someone for tomorrow and get some cash, I'd do it as well. So, you know, it is what it is, isn't it?
Yeah, like I said, it's the way of the world now. And suing someone is just paying somebody to make a good argument for you, and it's whoever makes the better argument in court, really, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. That's literally it.
That's
all
exactly. Lawyers do. It's paid argumentators.
Yeah.
I can't think the right word.
Argumentator. It sounds like fucking a transformer. Argumentator, transform.
Speaking of transformers, the Decepticons. How did they not know they were going to deceive them? They were cool, the Decepticons.
Oh, that's such a good point.
Yeah.
It's true. It's in the name. What were you thinking? Don't trust them. Just go. You knew they were going to start a war in Cybertron. They're called Decepticons. It's a very good point.
What else we got here? Obviously the Iron Maiden album.
Yeah.
Some people I saw was posting online that they'd heard it sort of a day or two early.
Oh, okay.
I tried searching for it a couple of weeks ago actually, and it just kept coming up with like it said, oh, this is Iron Maiden, a new song title from the new album, but it was somebody else's song, and they were just trying to. I don't know if you've seen that sort of thing before, but they were just trying to get
Ride
their
the
song out.
coattails. Nice.
Yeah,
Very clever. I like that.
yeah. I think one of the bands, this did sound a lot like Iron Maiden, but there were no vocals, which kind of makes sense because you would know straight away it's not Bruce Dickinson if there were vocals.
Yeah.
But that happened to me for the Iowa album.
Oh, really?
Yeah, back when it was like LimeWire. Or Napster. It could have been Napster. But yeah, people kept putting.
Oh,
like...
so you're one of the people responsible for destroying the music industry. Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, you're a prick. Oh, now I feel bad and don't want to talk about that.
No, dude, we all downloaded songs. Don't worry about it, man. Everyone did it. We all destroyed the music industry. Yeah, not everyone did. We all did.
I mean, I bought Iowa anyway. Well, my parents bought it for me. We got it from Woolworths in Minehead, actually.
Nice, Woolworths, love it.
Yeah, I got back into the car, took my Westlife CD out of my Discman and replaced it with Iowa.
What a change up.
Yeah, I've loved saying that story ever since it happened. Well, it's got to be close to 20 years now.
That's good, man. I like that. Good change. Good change of pace.
But I mean, I still enjoyed Westlife.
I'm flying without wings. If you're 555, then I'm 666. That's a good change, man. I like that.
It is, yeah. Awesome. But yeah, like I was saying, I do feel bad saying it. But yeah, loads of people were putting their own songs online saying it was like Slipknot Iowa's new tracks. Yeah. But one of them I actually quite enjoyed and got into the band because of it. It was Finger 11.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, one of their songs. Suffocate was one of them. And I loved that song. I did actually think it was Slipknot at the time. When I realised it wasn't them, I still enjoyed it. And so I got into the band quite a bit.
Nice. That's cool, man. That's an interesting story of how to get into a band. Listening to a band song thinking it was another band, but actually liking the band that it actually was. That's cool.
Yeah. So their tactic actually worked.
Yeah, they probably had quite a few. That's a good tactic. You got to be clever. Like even back then, people were doing it, but you've got to be real clever these days with your marketing and the way you sell stuff. So yeah, if you want to hop on the back of someone's coattails, hells yeah, I'd do it. So
yeah,
why not?
Edema have a new song out. Did you listen to it after I
have not listened. No.
Oh, it's quite good. Yeah, I quite enjoyed it. I've only listened to it a couple of times.
Okay.
But yeah, so I messaged you about that, didn't I? And we were actually messaging each other about the Iron Maiden album as well, which was awesome. I think I've spoken about this briefly before, but I never actually included it in any of the episodes. But just chatting to somebody about music is something I've not done in 10, 15 years, and it's really cool again. It's
nice to comment on the same thing, like when we've listened to something and go, oh, I think this, and you're like, oh, I like this song, and I'm like, oh, I like this one. It's pretty cool, man. It is good to have someone to chat to about that shit.
Yeah. So I mean, despite doing the podcast together, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool that we are chatting about music, and I've been thinking, there's got to be a lot of other people out there in the same boat. So I'm thinking about opening our Discord up actually for people to come in and chat and I suppose get to know other people before download next year if they're all going to go cool. And just come in and chat about music.
Yeah, cool, man. I'm up for that.
Awesome. There's another one actually opened up or started a week or so ago. There was a guy posted in the download Facebook group asking if people were interested in D&D, and so he made a Discord for D&D, but for like downloaders. So I joined it. I think there's about 80 people in there, maybe a little bit more.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I did say to him, like, I doubt I'll have time to join in any games, but I do know somebody who seems quite interested, as in you. And so I thought, yeah, if you ever want to try and jump in a game, if we have an off week, I said I know where to ask.
Yeah, definitely. Awesome. Hell's yeah.
That is all of my news. I know I went off a little bit there at the end, but that's all of the news that I have.
News completed.
Oh no, Lordie's Lordi, you have a new single out too.
News not completed.
You a fan of Lordi when they were first out?
Yes, very much so. Yeah, I loved them. I saw them live quite a bit in the sort of 2006 to like 2008. Saw them live quite a few times during that. Yeah, they're wicked.
Yeah, they've released a new single. I think the last album was I can't remember if it was 2006 or 2008. But yeah, it's been a good sort of 14, 15 years since they've released anything. The new single sounds a bit Christmassy, actually. It's not a Christmas song, but it could be Christmassy.
Nice. Release a Christmas song in September. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Well, no, just the sound of it. Just the sound of it could be a Christmas song.
I'll give it a listen and I'll tell you on a scale of 1 to 10 how Christmassy I think it is. It could be pretty Christmassy. You never know.
All right. Yeah, that's all of my news. Did you have anything?
No news from me. News completed. Next subject.
Well, we've either got Slam Dunk, the download announcement, or I probably should have stopped for Ronnie to...
Sing for me, download!
Talk us in. Thank you, Ronnie. Yeah, Slam Dunk, the download announcement, or Senjutsu. What should we start with?
We'll do the two lineup things. Well, the two things. We'll just speak about Slam Dunk first and get it out of the way because it's only going to be a quick thing, isn't it?
Yeah. Cool. Have you ever been?
I have never been to Slam Dunk, no. But everyone I know pretty much goes because my first 10 stories on Instagram were everyone I know going to Slam Dunk. So I know a lot of people that go to it, but I've never been. I got invited to go, but I had a heavy weekend last weekend at my brother's and then Bloodstock before that. I'm too knackered. I can't. I could have, but yeah, I just chose not to. But to be fair, the more I looked at the lineup, the more I was like, Skin Dread, Funeral for a Friend, Loathe. That sounds tasty. But yeah, obviously I'm not there. So
I've been to Slam Dunk once in my life.
Okay. Which one did you go to, North or South?
You know what? I have no idea which one I went to. I can't remember. Probably South, because we're from the South.
Right, it would have been at Hatfield or Leeds, so you would have known.
Oh, we didn't go to Leeds.
Yeah, then you went to Hatfield, yeah.
Yeah. It was a long time ago. Probably, I don't know, pretty close to 10 years ago, maybe.
Do you remember what year was it? Do you remember?
Nope.
Do you remember anyone that played?
Less Than Jake.
They've probably played every year.
Probably. Zebrahead. And, did the King Blues play? I think the King Blues might have played as well.
So 2010, it was Newfound Glory and Alkaline Trio. Big bands. So it would have been 2010 or 2011. I can't see any of the bands you mentioned on the 2010 one.
Try 2011.
2011. Oh, yeah, here you go. So 2011 was Less Than Jake, Real Big Fish, 303, Anti-Flag, Set Your Goals, Attack, We Are the Ocean, Shadows the Beasts, Feed the Rhino. Wow, this is a proper 2011 fucking lineup as well. Anti-Flag, Goldfinger. Is that the one?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. That looks pretty good. Well, I mean, good for other people. I would have not liked to have been there.
But anyway, it doesn't really matter where it was. The first thing I noticed, I don't really notice cars, but the first thing I noticed, we got to the car park and it was a sea of hatchbacks. I couldn't believe
Really?
how many small cars there were. It kind of makes sense because it's for sort of younger people, I would say. Well, maybe not younger people, but
All my friends are in their mid to late 30s and they're still going, so
yeah. No, I don't know. So the one I went to, it was like it was in a university or something. It was just loads of different rooms. I don't remember there being a field or open.
Yeah, it would have changed. It's probably got a lot bigger since 2011. So now it's in a field in Hatfield. So when you saw it, it was probably somewhere else.
Yeah, that makes sense because a lot of the pictures I've seen of people at Slam Dunk, it's like it is like a proper festival. They're outside with a stage outside.
Yeah.
I'm thinking it's not what it was like when I went. I know it was a long time ago. But,
so now it is quite a big festival. Like I said, I know a lot of people that go to it. So they got 4 stages. They got the rock scene stage, which is like the big main stage. They got the Pumpkin Republic stage, which is the second stage. They got the Jägermeister tent, which is the third stage, and the Key Club stage, which is the fourth stage.
Cool.
So 4 stages, yeah, 1 day. But yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good. I mean, I wish I'd gone now because, looking at the lineup, I'm like, damn, there's quite a few bands in there I actually would have wanted to see. And it's probably going to be a good laugh. Problem is, you got to take Monday off, but I suppose that's all right.
Yeah. Oh, Zebrahead are playing this year as well. So, Zebrahead, Sponge, they're old as well.
Yeah, Sponge have got some great songs, actually.
But, and Ice Nine Kills on here, they're quite heavy. I thought Slam Dunk was like primarily a punk rock or pop punk.
It is primarily,
festival.
but they always have a bit of metal there. Because, Bullet have played and like quite a few metal bands have played it. So I think the Jägermeister stage is like more for the kind of metal stuff. Because they got While She Sleeps, Bury Tomorrow, Escape the Fate. I know they're like proper metal, but Malevolence are pretty heavy. Loathe are pretty heavy. So yeah, Your Demise, they have some heavy stuff there as well. So if we were to go, the Jägermeister stage is probably the one for us.
Yeah, because I mean, I've got to say I've not really paid much attention to it since I went 10 years ago. That's all. Like I said, it wasn't my kind of thing. It was fun. I don't know. It's weird. I have gone through stages of really liking pop punk, the same as I said last episode, where I've gone through stages of really liking like fucking heavy stuff as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't know. They're fun to watch as well. Though bands like these, aren't they? Like Real Big Fish. What did I see them? I saw them at Sonosphere, and they were doing
Nice.
I think they did the same song but in different styles, like about 15 times. Like I say, now we're going to play the same song, but in German.
You said the word that's banned from this podcast.
German?
No. Sonosphere.
Oh.
Because I'm still jealous that I never went. And every time you say it, I hate you a little bit on the inside. I hate anyone that's been to Sonosphere because I never went. Completely my own fault, but yeah, never went. Still depressed about it, even this long after it hasn't been a festival anymore.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, so who have we got at Slam Dunk anyway then? Some for the lineup I've got hasn't got like stage splits or
yeah. So Sum
like
41 aren't playing anymore, so you're probably not looking at the updated one. The updated one is Don Brocco are playing like on the main stage. No Effects are playing as the headliners for the second stage.
I see that now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it's been split, and they took a couple of people off because the Used were playing, which I was very excited about because I'm a huge Used fan. But they got taken off. I think Code Orange, and there was a couple of obviously all to do with COVID stuff. They were taken off and replaced with other people. So I don't think Funeral for a Friend won there originally, and I would go to this festival just for Funeral for a Friend. That's how much I love them. But there are a few other bands on there that are pretty good. I love Loathe. Loathe are incredible. Skindred got added to the list like at the last minute, and they're always a staple. If I'd have seen them then, I would have seen them 3 times in a year, all at festivals, which is ludicrous considering we're still in COVID territory.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So, but yeah, there's a lot on there that's not really for me, but there's definitely 4 or 5 bands I definitely could have enjoyed my day seeing and then just get absolutely twatted the rest of the time. Is there anything on there that takes your fancy?
So yeah, looking at this, as it is, I want to say I enjoyed them. I'm sure I've tried listening to them before, but yeah, that first split, nothing on there that I'm interested in. No Effects, Alkaline Trio. I probably would watch Alkaline Trio. I only like there's a couple of songs that I like, but the one that goes, "Remember when I said."
Oh yeah, that's
I fucking love that song. And I liked it enough to want to go to watch them just for that one song. There's not many bands that I would do that for. What else we got here? No. Oh, Zebrahead. So, Zebrahead are my bogey band. I have tried to see them about 4 times, and I've not managed to see them yet.
Oh, really? Crazy.
Yeah. So, I probably would go to watch them. Although, I probably not liked any any of their new stuff since the first time I wanted to watch them. Not really paid attention. I really wanted to watch them, and then because I couldn't, I wanted to watch them the next time I could, and then I couldn't. So it's sort of built on itself, and I really wanted to watch them because of that. And I still haven't been able to yet. Funeral for a Friend, the same as you. I was absolutely in love with their first album. Again, didn't really get into any more of their stuff after that.
You're missing out.
Yeah.
You're missing out. They got some great stuff after that. In fact, I still think that the second album is just as good, if not better, than the first one, in my view.
Do you?
Definitely.
I'll have to listen to that tomorrow. I have been listening to a lot of the stuff that I said I'll listen to. Maybe not. I haven't listened to Cradle of Filth's new song yet. But I checked out Head PE's album.
Nice.
I wasn't that keen. But
Okay,
yeah, there's loads of stuff that we've said in previous episodes, and I've said, yeah, I'll check that out. And normally you would think, yeah, they're just saying that. But yeah, I've actually been trying a lot of new stuff out. So yeah, I will go and listen to Funeral for a Friend's second album tomorrow.
Yeah, do it, man. It only came out 15 years ago.
Yeah. I think I was busy with Sixth at the time. I was busy ignoring Sixth's second album as well at the same time.
There you go, yeah.
They
oh
were
my God,
the same,
so good as well.
Same time as well, weren't they? Yeah. What else on this lineup am I looking, well, would I enjoy? Probably not a lot else. No. Nothing else. I can't see those bottom ones, but yeah, Slam Dunk. I don't know. Would I go again? I probably would if I got the opportunity to.
Yeah, I'll see what it's like if there's a really good lineup next year. It depends, you know. I want to do the same thing I've done this year. I want to do Download. I want to do 2000 Trees. I want to do Bloodstock. I want to do blah blah. And then by the time you get to the end of the year, you're either fucked or you've got no money left. So
yeah,
it's like the last one, isn't it? So it's for other people, it's like a feature of their year, but for me, it's an afterthought. If I can go, I will. If they got a good enough lineup, I'll automatically go. If it's a kind of shitty lineup, I'll always get asked by my friends to go anyway, just for the crack. So one year, I will probably end up going to it.
So I think what put me off was how it was laid out when I went to watch it. Well, went to it, I suppose. But now that I've seen that it's changed and it's in a proper field with a proper stage and not like I said, I'm sure it was like in a university and all the stages were in random rooms in this university and you got to walk down corridors to get to the next stage.
Yeah, that's how the Leeds one was, but now it's in a field as well. I think they realised that that's the best way. Well, you know, they got big enough to do it. I suppose at first it had to be inside because you haven't got the amount of people coming, but now it's a huge festival. Like I said, I know tons of people that go. So
I didn't even realise that it was big. Or bigger than it was. Because, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I had a couple of friends who were, like, obsessed with it before I went. So I thought it was like, wow, probably was quite a big festival. But, yeah, I thought it was massive back then. Obviously, it just kept growing.
Yeah. It's just got bigger and bigger over the years.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see what the capacity was.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, it's 25,000.
Is it?
That's nothing to be...
That's more than Bloodstock.
To be sneered at. Yeah, it's a lot of people, man.
Bloody hell.
Yeah. So 25,000. That's the Hertfordshire one. So the Hatfield one. I don't know about the other one, but yeah, 25,000 in Hatfield. Pretty big festival.
Shit, yeah.
I know it's only a day, but that's a hell of a lot of people, and they do it Saturday, Sunday. Over that period, if you're getting like 50,000 people, that's a big deal, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they do it. They'll do like one on the Saturday and one on the Sunday, will they? All the bands travel. Yeah. Is there another one like that? Is another festival where it's 3 days? No, maybe I'm thinking Reading and Leeds.
Yeah, Reading and Leeds is like that, but
there's not much else I can really say about Slam Dunk because, as I said, I haven't really been paying much attention to it, but it was interesting. It was interesting to learn the few bits that I did.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's good. It's a good festival. I will get there at some point.
What else do we have on the show notes?
Download.
The download announcement, yes.
I have them to hand.
Awesome. I will find them too, because I looked at the lineup after the announcement, but I didn't actually see which ones were new and which ones weren't.
Okay, so so Download have made an announcement. They've added to the current lineup, which already I think looks pretty damn awesome. So I'll quickly reel those names off real quick to the ones that were added, just to make it up. So in alphabetical order, A Day to Remember, Baroness, Black Veil Brides, Bury Tomorrow, Cassiette, Code Orange, Creeper, Death Blooms, Dragged Under, Gender Roles, Ice Nine Kills, Malevolence, Mastodon, Meet Me at the Altar, Miles Kennedy and Company, Miles Kennedy Acoustic, Normandy, Obituary, Shinedown, Thick, and Volbeat. So they're all the ones that have been announced and added to the current lineup. So do any of those automatically stand out to you, dude?
The only one is Shinedown.
Okay. Oh yeah, I thought of you actually when they announced that, because you were saying in the last episode that you like listened to nothing but Shinedown for like 3 months or whatever the hell it was.
Yeah. Oh, 6 months. Yeah. Twice.
6 months, saying even more. So yeah, I knew you'd be excited about that. But anyone else on there take your fancy? Anything else stand out where you think, ooh, maybe?
No, I was sure I saw somebody say that Funeral for a Friend were on that announcement, but they were
already on the lineup. Yeah, already on it. Yeah.
And also Daughtry, I thought were announced, but they must have been already on it.
Yeah, they were already on as well. Yeah. So just those. Well, for me, Baroness are fantastic. Mastodon, obviously. I'm a huge Mastodon fan. And any more. Some of the bands on there I don't know. I've heard of a lot. I should probably listen to. People keep going on about how good Code Orange are. So I should probably check those guys out at some point. But yeah, the Mrs. Vicky absolutely loves Volbeat. So she'll be super happy about that. But Volbeat and Mastodon were actually already on the lineup, and then they got taken off because of the whole COVID thing, and now they're put back on. Yeah, so they had Killswitch Engage on the lineup, who they took off. I thought they were going to put them back on, but they actually haven't. So that might be something. There's still a few gaps on there, so I'm sure they'll announce a couple of... The main one noticeable is on the Friday, where you've got Kiss, A Day to Remember, and then there's a huge gap there. So something else, someone else that's, you know, a biggish name in the sort of in the industry will probably be on there. But yeah, a couple of names on there. So I'm excited. I already think the lineup's awesome. I think it's one of the best ones in years, personally. But I'm going to be struggling to see bands because there's so many on there I already want to see. I don't know how you're feeling about it.
Pretty much the same. Yeah, there's a lot more bands that I'd want to see than usual. And I have noticed that Funeral for a Friend look like they might clash with Iron Maiden a little bit. I know it probably wouldn't be very much because not many people... Well, there's never usually that big a clash, maybe 10, 15 minutes with the headliners. Yeah. But still, Funeral for a Friend will probably play their, a couple of their best songs at the end of their set, and you wouldn't want to miss that. But you don't want to miss the beginning of Iron Maiden either. So that's
a tough one. And I know that Bruce likes Funeral for a Friend because they took them on tour in the early Funeral for a Friend days, and he said they were really, really nice guys. They really liked them. So
yeah, I went to that tour. I can't remember. Do you remember which one it was?
Dance of Death. That was. There you go. We're already into Iron Maiden territory.
Yeah,
talking about old tars.
just can't stop talking about them. Yeah, no. I think I've been to every studio album tour since Dance of Death.
Oh, okay, awesome.
What was before Dance of Death? It was Brave New World, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I didn't go to that one.
No, that was too early for me even. I won't say anything of where that's in my Maiden albums, but let's just say I fucking wish I went to that tour because that's a great fucking album, that is.
I'm glad you wrote that list down because I thought I'd have a quick look as well, just in case there's anything I missed. And it's not in any order. It's just like long paragraphs about each band, and they don't stick out. But I was going to say,
I've done that. That's cool.
With Daughtry, are you? Do you know much about Daughtry?
A little bit. My brother likes. He calls them Daughtry.
Daughtry,
Daughtry, whatever the hell.
Could be. I don't know. But yeah, the fact that they're on before Mastodon and Megadeth, and they're quite a soft band. They're quite mellow.
Yeah, that's cool. No, they sound great though. My bro's played me a couple of tracks, and singer's got an absolutely fantastic voice.
Saying that, Westlife actually covered one of their songs, didn't they?
Did they?
Yeah.
Wow, I never knew that.
But yeah, the fact that they're on before Mastodon and Megadeth. I thought
Yeah.
it was
Well, I
quite
suppose
funny.
at Download, it's such a variation of music. There's probably been a few times on some of the lineups when you look and you go, "Wow, that's two completely different things."
Yeah.
But yeah, oh my god, that the Download lineup is just unreal at the moment. It's got to stupid levels now. I mean,
I just want to sit and talk about this lineup now for a while, but we said we'll do that at some point. We'll probably
We
have
will.
a good, like, a proper episode just about Download and the lineup.
yeah, oh yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah, because we could take a long time talking about this and all the bands.
Yeah, we'll skip that. We'll do that in another episode. So
Yeah.
we'll get to that. Don't you worry. But everyone knows, oh, well, I've seen a few people that are like, and I'm just like, ugh, they're probably just the same people that moan about Download lineup every year. So I haven't taken any notice of that. But for
Yeah.
me, incredible. But I couldn't care what anyone else thinks.
Yeah.
I'm happy. I'm haps.
Yeah, we'll get to that at some point.
Sweet.
As for the announcement, though, it's only just the one band. I'm looking forward to seeing Shinedown as well. Last time, I left them halfway through. I'm not going to tell you why. You'll have to wait until the year that comes up to find out. Hey, look at that. Perfect clickbait kind of. I don't know. I don't know what to call it.
You could do a really good thumbnail and like a clickbait thing on anywhere, and someone would click on it.
Yeah.
I saw Shinedown in 2018, and they were brilliant. Really good.
Was that the Download 28? Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Download 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were great.
I left halfway through to go and watch Breaking Benjamin because I fucking loved Breaking Benjamin as well as well. But they were boring as hell live. I'd never seen them before, so I was like, I can leave Shinedown to go and see them. But yeah, they were shit live. I wouldn't go and see them again. I was gutted I didn't stay for the rest of Shinedown.
Oh, my bro loves Breaking Benjamin as well, so he'll be sad to hear that. I'm not sure he's ever seen them live.
What about? I reckon me and your brother would get along quite well. What about Three Doors Down?
Oh yeah, he loves that.
Yeah. See.
Shall I get him on instead? Yeah. Should we do that? Shall we?
Yeah.
We'll just get rid of me. Yeah. I'll give him a call.
Switch. Yeah. No. When I was at uni, I think I told you I was only there for a year, and I pretty much all I did was sat and played World of Warcraft while I was there. I didn't really do any work. But so yeah, there's only a few bands that I was sort of obsessed with, and yeah, Daughtry I really got into while I was there. Three Doors Down and Breaking Benjamin. It's basically what I said last week. I would put their discography on, all of it, and then just cycle through it. The same with Edema. Like I said, they released a song earlier. I really got into Edema while I was there as well.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of sort of softer singing kind of bands.
You like that stuff? It's good shit.
Yeah. Shall we get into Iron Maiden?
Let's enter. Let's get to the reason why people wanted to listen to this episode, which is Iron Maiden have released a new album, and we shall discuss it now. First of all, what do you think of the cover? Always a big deal with Maiden albums.
I don't think I like it. I like.
Do you not? Don't like the style?
No, I like the samurai Eddie. I've decided if my character dies in D&D, I'm going to make a samurai.
Nice.
Yeah, I like the samurai Eddie from the writing on the wall. But yeah, I'm not a fan of the cover. The same as it's a previous album as well. The what's it even called?
Oh, Book of Souls.
Yeah, it's the same kind of style, isn't it? With like the black background.
Yeah, and just Eddie on it. No,
Yeah.
Nothing really, So, so you're not a fan then?
I don't know. I think it's.
Do you like the style? Just the cover. I agree with you though. I think the cover and the last one could be just a little bit more complex. If you look at the Iron Maiden albums, the simplicity is nice. Don't get me wrong, but I think Maiden albums are known for these really sort of, really beautifully painted, sort of detailed drawings, and I think that's what all the best album covers are. So I get what you mean. It's just an Eddie on the front. And I know some of the original ones were like Killers and stuff like that. Iron Maiden, they were really simple. But even they had sort of more character. But I agree with you. Yes.
I suppose, yeah, it's just a different style, isn't it? It's new, and so maybe that's what it is. Just I'm an old bastard and don't like change. But I mean, it's okay. Yeah, like I said, it's just different.
Yeah. While we're on that subject, quickly, what's your favourite Maiden cover?
Oh, good question.
I've got 3 that I think are fucking excellent. So, well, there's loads. Obviously, Number of the Beast is incredible. It's so iconic.
Yeah.
All those. But I'd say favourites, Live After Death is a fucking great cover.
Yeah.
Coming out with the tombstone and all that. I love that. Somewhere in Time is an insanely great cover. Just all the detail. I love the Robot Eddie. I think that's so cool. And I like Seventh Son as well, with all the sort of weird stuff in the background and the sort of all the floating islands and that.
Yeah.
But they're all great covers. But it just shows you those ones are so they're so stuck in your brain. But the newer ones are kind of just a little bit. I mean, even Brave New World, it's just a cloud.
Yeah.
It's and I like how they've like futurized all of London. It looks cool, but it's still not the best cover. And then of course you've got one of the worst covers of all time, which is Dance of Death, which we've talked about before.
What they've done? What to London for Brave New
It's
World?
all like it's all like futurized.
I never
so it's a
noticed that.
picture of London. Yeah, it's a picture of London, and they've futurized all the buildings, so it's like a Brave New World.
I need to go and look at that.
Have you never noticed that before?
No, I'd always look at the cloud.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, look below it. It's they've obviously taken a picture and then they've drawn over it, or they've started the drawing from new. But yeah, it is London, but they're all futuristic versions of the buildings.
Huh. Well, Somewhere in Time has got all of the little Easter eggs of other songs and stuff, which I didn't know until I've known for a little while now, but probably 4 or 5 years ago, and I've liked Iron Maiden for 25 years.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a nice new thing to notice. But yeah, I'm gonna have to look at Brave New World now.
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah, have a look. Well, there's so many details in all of their covers. I'm sure if we looked at them, you can pick stuff out now, even now that you're like, never saw that before, because they used to put loads of, like you said, Lisa, little Easter eggs and stuff. So
yeah.
That's
What's
cool.
my favourite? I mean, I've got the Number of the Beast tattooed on my leg.
Yeah.
I've also got the Power Slave single cover on my other leg. That's the only 2 tattoos I've got, both Iron Maiden ones. And they're old now. I got the Number of the Beast when I was 16, so...
Wow.
36 next year. 20 years old already, that one.
Old school.
Yeah, and then the other one, probably 8-9 years ago, so... I think... Well, the tattooist, actually, who did it, he's fucking good. But once he'd finished the Power Slave one, he was like, I'm never doing another Eddie again because of how much detail there was in it.
Yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, he has done more since he did a really cool Iron Maiden sleeve for somebody, and I was jealous that I don't have the money to get that kind of thing.
Yeah, I think when I get the rest of this arm or the rest of this arm finished, I'm definitely going to have some Iron Maiden something in there somewhere.
Yeah. But my favourite, I agree with you. Yeah, I do like the Seventh Son one. Because it's different on each. It's different on the back as well, but it's all very similar, isn't it? Like inside the cover as well, it's got like different angles as well, I think.
Yeah, it's cool. Oh, they're all of them have got fantastic artwork, but those are the ones that I always think of in my head, and of course the Number of the Beast one. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what? So we spoke briefly before starting recording. I actually did. I put every single album in ranked order, not just top 10. And I tried to write them down in order through memory, and then like change them up. But there was 2 that I couldn't remember. What were they? I can't remember what they were now. Fear of the Dark, I think, was one of them, which I can't believe I couldn't remember that one. And there was another one, but I didn't get them in the right order though. I think most of them were somewhere. I think it was Somewhere in Time and Fear of the Dark.
Oh, okay. Just didn't come to memory.
Yeah, I don't know why. Well, I mean, I do know why, because there's lots of albums. Like, yeah.
Yeah, dude, 17, that's a hell of a lot of albums. So, if you can't reel them off, or you reel everyone off, but you forget two of them, I don't think anyone's going to bitch at you for that. It's fine.
No, yeah, it was a little sort of personal flex if I could do it, and I couldn't do it.
You were so close, though, dude. So
Yeah.
close. That's fine. That's
But, yeah.
perfectly fine.
I remember. God, I'm gonna sound like a right bastard now. I remember getting was it the first album I ever had? It might not have been the first album, but it was. Well, no, it was Iron Maiden, but I can't remember if it was the first one I ever owned. But I remember getting that as a copy, and I'm walking around with that in my Discman in my pocket
Nice.
all the
Nice.
time. So I listened to that album loads.
So was that the first Maiden you listened to?
No, so I actually this is good to go into this actually before we go into
Let's do it. So when was the first time? When was the first time, if you can remember, that you first heard or listened to Iron Maiden?
I can't remember what year or how old I was, but it was when Virtual Eleven had just come out. Because I used to hang out with my cousin a lot, and his brother-in-law was a massive fan. And yeah, like he owned a GameStop, a computer game shop, and I was
Nice.
sort of working for him maybe a bit after this. But yeah, I was always in there hanging out, and so he always had Virtual Eleven on when it was first out, and so that was my intro to Iron Maiden.
Cool.
I think Virtual Eleven is higher up on my list than it would be on a lot of people's.
Because it's naturally, if it's the first one you heard, then it's the first one that's on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
What about you?
Mine was at the time, so this would have been, I don't know, 95 maybe? 95, 96, around there. My mum was dating this German guy, and he loved metal, and I obviously hadn't done it, so he gave me like a fuckload of tapes, and in those tapes was a double tape of Live After Death.
Yeah.
So the first Iron Maiden album I heard was a live one.
Yeah.
So I heard all of the best of through Live After Death before I heard the studio versions.
Right.
So sometimes even in my head, I have little bits when I listen to the original songs of Live After Death creeping in, like all the little comments he says and all the stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that was the first one that I heard. And then after that, me and my friend Wesley got crazily into Maiden, and then we started listening to Virtual 11. Wesley had a giant Virtual 11 poster on his wall, and it was incredible. So it would have been around that sort of same time that you did.
Yeah.
But yeah, Live After Death was the first one that introduced me, and I loved it because it starts with a live version of Aces High. I mean, it just kicked me in the balls, and I was like,
yeah.
this is amazing. Like, holy hell. And
Yeah.
then, I just loved Maiden from that point forward.
I think I've always been able to sort of impress people knowing when they're going into Fear of the Dark, because it's got the really slow. Is it Crash? I don't know what they're called.
I think I think it is just a hi-hat.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really slow, and I know exactly when it is Fear of the Dark.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's like that, isn't it? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I mean,
Well, then again, Hello Be Thy Name starts like that as well, because it goes.
okay. I don't know. I don't think I've ever got it wrong though. I've always known when it was Fear of the Dark. I think.
Well done, man.
Rock in Rio was probably one of my favourite live ones because they had a lot of the Virtual 11 songs on there. I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was after Virtual 11.
Yeah, I was going to mention Rock in Rio because I mean I got the DVD and I must have watched it so many times that the DVD barely worked.
Yeah,
because that whole gig, the performance, having Bruce back, the set list, it's just a fucking barn burner of a DVD. That is the whole crowd. Obviously Rio, they just love Maiden over there. So
yeah,
that many people just going insane to Maiden is just still, now you watch it and you think, holy fuck, that was quite the gig.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure last episode you said barnstormer. I've never heard that saying.
Barnstormer, barn burner, barnstormer, whatever.
I know,
whatever you
want
to put that down as. Yeah, you can storm a barn. You can barn a burn. Burn a barn. What is happening to me? You confuse my brain now. But yeah, any of those analogies to describe something awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I've never heard it. Yeah, so it just sort of, every time I've heard you say it since on the recording, I'm like, never heard that.
I probably just made it up.
So
Doesn't matter.
it's like when you're talking about being drunk, and I can't remember what comedian it was that said you can use any word to say how drunk you were. I was trolleyed. I was
It's true.
mouse pad last night. Nah, that doesn't really work.
But it's true. If you say it and people know what context it's in,
Yeah.
it already sounds like what it's supposed to. So I get you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was the sort of how we got into it, and we both agree that if you're a Maiden fan, you've never seen or heard. I don't know what the audio recording of Rock and Rio is like. I know the DVD's great. I haven't listened to I know it's on Spotify, but I haven't listened to just the audio. I always watch it with the video because it's so awesome. So yeah, go and check that out.
I think I've got it, but I've never watched it. I've got a lot of music DVDs that I never ever watched.
It's probably all on YouTube now anyway, so you could just go
Yeah.
on YouTube and watch it. But it's definitely, apart from Live After Death, I think that's my favourite sort of live Maiden snippets.
We were talking about Senjutsu, weren't we? And because you said about you don't know what the audio is like. You said it, and I heard a lot of other people say, or read online, people saying about the production quality is really bad. I haven't heard that. It's like I must be like I haven't got the ear for it or something because
It's not bad. It's not bad. It just sounds, the mix to me sounds a little bit muddy.
That is what I would have. So I listened to it properly with my proper headphones this afternoon just to sort of try and hear what people were saying about, and yeah, I would have said it sounded a bit muddy.
Yeah, I think that I said to you, like, overall, I think it's a very good album, but I think it does. As soon as I started listening to it, I thought the songs sound great. They're really good songs, but the mix is a tad muddy. I think it is. I think it's lacking on the low end as well. I couldn't hear the bass enough on the two sets of speakers that I was listening to, and that's one of the things that really drives Maiden. But for me, I don't know whether it's in the EQ regions or the master. I'm not quite sure whereabouts it is, but to me, it's a very muddy mix.
Yeah.
I can't remember what Book of Souls was like. If anyone was complaining about that, I couldn't even tell you a song off that album. So that's how much I liked that. But yeah, just a bit muddy. That's all. The songs, though, I think once you get over that, it actually sounds really good. But I think if you were to play, obviously, there are Maiden albums that sound different due to age. So when you play like a playlist, there are a lot of songs that sound different. But I put on a song from Brave New World.
That's exactly what I
put on a song
did.
from this album. Even though there's 20 years between the two albums, you will hear how much better the production on Brave New World is compared to this.
Yeah.
That album absolutely pops through a stereo. It is a gorgeous sounding album, where this is just lacking a little bit in that region. That's all I can say about that, really.
Yeah. Like I said, I've seen a lot of people say it. I've heard people saying about the sort of album productions over the years. And like I said, I never really heard it. I've never known what they were talking about. I think some people just say that just to sound like they know what they're talking about. But
Yeah. Oh, it's true though. It's true.
But yeah,
but I guess Musos will hear it. I heard it as soon as it came on. I could hear that, and some people were just tuned into that. Some people put on an album and they won't know any different, and that's fine as well. But I think some people just have an ear to say, this sounds a little bit, just slightly off, or a little bit muddy, or something's not quite right. You get that with quite a lot of albums. But yeah, it's not bad. It's not a bad sounding album. Just if you compare it to others, you can hear that it's not quite up to the standard that it should be, I think. But
yeah,
people might disagree with me on that.
Yeah, no. And I think with this is the first time I've heard any Iron Maiden songs and thought that sounds like another Iron Maiden song. There's probably 4 or 5 songs on this album that have little bits that sound it sounds like it's almost exactly the same as another riff on a different song. There's one I'm not sure what song it is on the new album, but I'm pretty sure it sounds like, I think it's Journeyman on Dance of Death. Very similar. But I messaged you as well, didn't I, saying the Parchment is basically 500 miles.
Yeah.
And After I've listened to it, and I think I can't be the same, surely. So I go back and listen to it again, and I'm like, yeah, no, I could come in and start singing 500 Miles here, and it would be exactly the same.
Well, on the same subject, the thing that you were saying with songs sound like other songs, I thought this while I was listening to it, right? And I wanted to say this to you, right? If you take a band like Metallica, right? Metallica have been through phases, right? So they started as a thrash band.
Yeah.
Then in the 90s, they became like a heavy rock band. And now they're like a perfect mix of the two, right? And their albums aren't boring.
Right.
And you can say some Metallica songs sound the same, right? The problem is with Maiden is they've pretty much sounded exactly the same the whole time. There's only so much you can do with one particular sound.
Yeah.
Eventually, and it's just the style that they play in, some songs will eventually end up sounding the same as other songs.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just gonna happen. There's only so much you can do, you know, unless they change drastically and go in a new. I know they've changed little bits here and there, but compared to other bands, their changes haven't been the massive leaps that have been for other big bands. And you know, most bands get slated for it, and I'll go back to whatever the sound was. And then when you start playing some stuff that's the same as the old stuff, they go, "Oh, why don't you come up with something new?" So when you're in a band like this, you can't win anyway. You can't please everyone all of the time. But I was thinking that when you said that, because when I was listening to the album, I was like, yeah, a lot of these riffs, I feel like I've heard these riffs. Do you know what the problem? Do you know what I thought the main problem with that on this album is? All the solos sound just like other solos in other Maiden songs. The songs are very well written, don't get me wrong, but you could stick any of these solos into any other Maiden song and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. I think that's where this album is lacking a little bit for me.
Yeah.
All the solos just, you know, I know you can only do certain solos and that's just their style and that's fine. But I thought that was the main bit in the music lacking. I thought the vocals were very good. I thought in general it was a very good album. Some of the songs I really, really like. But solo-wise, quite boring on the solo front, I think. Some Maiden solos literally make me, I can't not air guitar. It just has to be done because they're so good. Yeah. Whereas on this album, I felt that was a little bit lacking.
Yeah. I think I must just zone out for solos. Not even just on this album. All their albums, I can't. I think maybe I listen to the rhythm a bit more when solos are on. I don't know, or the bass, probably the bass.
Well, everyone's different. Everyone gets different things when they hear music. Some people, I'd say, you know, most people concentrate on the vocals. Other people, it'll be the rhythm, like you said. They move their head, they bop their head. That's what you bop your head to when you listen to a song. Yeah. Not bopping your head to the vocals, you're bopping your head to the rhythm of the song. Yeah. Some people will be like, "Oh, those guitars sound tasty." Yeah. Where you'll be like, "Do they?" And they'll be like, "Yeah, they sound sick." Yeah. Because people pick up on different stuff. So yeah, totally. Yeah. That's totally fine. Yeah, exactly. So if you didn't listen to the solos, yeah, it's just a solo, so it's fine. Yeah, but I don't think I've ever been able to listen to drums in any band. I just always struggled, even when I've really, really tried. And I sit there and go, like people are saying these drums are amazing. Let's listen to them. And 20 seconds later, I'm listening to something else. I just can't hear them. I'll tell you one thing right now, right? From being in a band, your most important member of your band is your drummer. You're only as good as your drummer. That's as simple it is as in a band. I don't think I listened to the drummer when I was in a band, and I was a bassist. It's supposed to be locked in, man. It's supposed to be like you're supposed to be locked. You're supposed to be one, the drummer and the bass player, man. Yeah, no, I don't. It didn't happen. Oh, that's good. That's great stuff. But yeah, I mean, I listened to the melody of the vocals as well. I remember talking to somebody. I'd been into Iron Maiden for a good maybe 10, 15 years, and I was talking to them and I said, "Oh, I don't know what most of the words are," and they couldn't believe it that I hadn't learnt the words. But there's not many songs that I know many of the words to now. It just, like I said, I must listen to the melody of it rather than the actual words that he's saying. Well, it's fine. Like you said, people get different stuff. Some people don't know the words. Someone will be able to recite the words perfectly for you. It's just the way that we absorb music in different ways. So it's fine. Each their own. Yeah, like I said, you'll have one Maiden fan that says they're a massive Maiden fan, but couldn't tell you 7 lyrics. But as soon as the music comes on, it will affect them in a certain way. So everyone, it's different for everyone. Yeah, exactly. So we both agree we liked it. Yeah. Right? what would you give it out of 10?
Oh, good question. So, well, another thing. I'll talk about this after. Out of 10, I'd probably only give it about a 5 or a 6.
Oh, okay, that low.
Yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
enjoy it. It's Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I was going to go between a 6 and 7. I think it's some of the songs on it are okay, but it's got some good tracks on it. So I was between a 6 and 7. I would say there's definitely some redeeming qualities. It's definitely worth a listen. It's not the greatest Iron Maiden album by any stretch of the means, but I think it's decent. It's not bad.
Yeah. But saying that, I said also that, but before recording, that it would have made my top 10. It would have knocked number 10 off of this spot, and you said it wouldn't have made your top 10. So
no,
I suppose it's numbers. That's how you perceive the numbers.
Yeah, but that's cool. So yeah,
in the
the review from the Dear Download podcast is the new Iron Maiden album is okay.
Yeah.
That's our review. Shall we move on?
Oh no, I remembered as the weird flanger kind of thing on his voice at the beginning of track 4. What is that about? I'm pretty sure is it flange or flanger?
Yeah, it's like a flange. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh god, I'm glad I
Yeah, it's
remembered
cool.
that. No,
I like.
that was weird.
I like it. It's a bit weird.
Yeah.
I like when they try. You know, he doesn't really have that many effects on his voice. So that's try and think a little bit different. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was cool.
Yeah. That's why you gave it a 6 or a 7, and I gave it a 5 or a 6.
There you go. Yeah, we're only a couple of scores above each other, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know, try new stuff. Fine with me.
But yeah, also, I listened to there's another podcast, is a specifically Iron Maiden podcast. It's Steve's Iron Maiden Zone podcast. Have you seen that?
No, never, never.
Listened to his episode about like the upcoming album, and they were talking about how the last 3 songs are like half an hour between them, and they were saying hopefully it's not too much. I was hoping. So 2 of my favourite songs recently have been When the Wild Wind Blows. I know that's not really that recent anymore. It's like almost 10 years old. And The Empire of the Clouds. I absolutely loved how long and epic they were. So I was kind of hoping for like him to take it one step further and have the 3 together make one sort of long epic song or long epic story between the 3 of them. I haven't looked at the lyrics or the meanings of them, but they're not what I was hoping for. They're not as epic sounding.
As epic as you thought.
Yeah.
So like those long songs, I thought they were okay, but I thought that the shorter songs were the best ones on there.
Yeah.
Shall we? So what are we going to do then? You've got all of the albums, and I've only got 10.
Yeah. I don't
okay.
know.
Well, basically, right. Okay, right. What we'll do is
I've also done my top 10 songs, but not in order.
Okay, right. What we'll do then, we'll do the albums first, right? But first of all, because I've got least favourite, so we should just do the least favourites first. Then you can go up to 10, and then we'll both do from 10 down together.
Yeah. Your worst album, or least favourite, yeah.
My least favourite Iron Maiden album is The Book of Souls.
Is that?
It is indeed.
Mine's X Factor. But
X Factor.
The Book of Souls is one above that. So, yeah, no, they probably could have quite easily been the other way around.
Shall I give you an explanation as to? I mean, I didn't like the album anyway, but shall I give you another explanation as to why it's my least favourite?
Go on.
Watching Iron Maiden at Download 2016 play The Book of Souls live was one of the most boring live experiences of my life. And that's coming from a Maiden fan.
I can agree with that. I also thought their previous tour, I don't know if you saw them on it, they, I'm going to say it again, they played at Sonosphere, and there was barely anything on the stage, or it might have been the other way round. But yeah, there was barely anything on the stage. It wasn't that interesting, and even the song choices weren't. It was just all the normal, all the ones that you would always go to, like Trooper, Run to the Hills. There wasn't any variation of like any of the newer songs.
Yeah.
And then they were played the download the next year, and it was exactly the same tour. I didn't realise at the time. I had to look it up after and was like, that was the same as last year at Sonosphere. Was it the same? And it was. It was the same tour. Just Sonosphere was at the beginning, Downloaded was at the end. And I was like,
well, yeah, some of their tours last for like 3 years or whatever, don't they? So if you see them twice in 2 years, you're most likely going to see them on the same tour because they go for so long. But yeah.
But it wasn't an album tour. I can't remember. It must have been like, they were doing like the
it would have been,
years,
one of the
middle years.
Legacy, Best of the Beast, all that sort of stuff. And they do those best of tours, yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I thought that was quite boring. I said not much on stage. I absolutely loved the when they were at Download, they did the A Matter of Life and Death, where they had the big tank come out. Eddie popped out of it. That was
good.
Awesome. And then to see, I think it was mostly just white, a mostly white stage with like obviously their banner at the top that goes around showing the singles or albums.
Yeah, I like that. The cover with the rail and the big sheets on that have all the album covers on. Yeah, that's cool.
I think
like
that was
stuff.
pretty much the only thing interesting about their stage.
Yeah, see, for me, they don't have to have loads of stuff on stage. It just has to be a good performance. And that Download 2016 one, I mean, I'm a huge Maiden fan. I was just bored the entire time.
Yeah.
Just bored out of my mind. So, yeah, that's another reason, anyway, why Book of Souls is my least favourite album.
Yes, sorry, I took it well off there, didn't I?
That's okay. We're still It's still about Maiden, and this is a Maiden special podcast, so we're still on track. Right.
Yeah.
So you're going to go now from what we doing, 15 to 10.
Yeah, I'll do my 15 to 10.
And then don't do 10. Wait, just do 15 to 11, and then we'll do 10. One after the other. But cool. So you go. Give them to us,
15
dude.
15 was just like I said, Book of Souls. 14, Peace of Mind. 13, Killers. 12, Somewhere in Time. And 11, No Prayer for the Dying.
Okay. Some interesting ones in there. Okay.
Well, no, they weren't that interesting. That's why they're in there.
Peace of Mind's a bit low, isn't it? Wow.
Why?
I wasn't expecting it to be that low. I can tell you right now, it's a lot higher on my list.
Yeah. Cool.
Oh my god!
So I
yeah.
do my 10, and you do your 10.
Okay, yeah. So you do your 10, I'll do my 10, and then we'll quickly discuss, and then we'll move on to the next one.
Cool. Yeah, my number 10 was Power Slave.
Okay. Really?
Yes. Really.
Oh my lord. Oh my god. Okay, right. Jeez. We have got two completely different depictions of what good Iron Maiden albums are.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's fine. My number 10 is Dance of Death.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I like the album. I think it's good. I think there's some good songs on it. But for me, it didn't really. I loved the tour. I thought that the Dance of Death tour was fantastic. That was really good. But I don't know. The album just doesn't really do it for me. On an Iron Maiden playlist, there'll be plenty of songs from it, but I think as an album, it didn't really grab me. What about you then? So you said Power Slave.
Yeah. So that 10 to 15 could have been in any order really. They were all about the same. Most of them I like two, well, probably more than two, maybe 3 or 4 songs that I really, really like from it. But the rest, I wasn't that bothered. I was looking through the track listings yesterday, and there was probably a few more that I could sort of get in my head without having to listen to it. So they were okay, but yeah, nothing that really, really stood out to me from any of those albums.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair enough. Yeah, that's fine. That's why they're down there.
Yeah.
It was
hard.
I was just looking at the. I was thinking to myself, like, I won't ruin it, but Power Slave's a lot higher for me. Power Slave probably has some of the most legendary Maiden songs on it, and I can't believe it's as low as it is on your list. I mean, it's got Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Power Slave, 2 Minutes to Midnight, Aces High. Why is this album so low?
Well, 2 Minutes to Midnight, I have got bored of. Not bored. I've listened to it too much, I think. It was always on Scuzz and Kerrang. Rime of the Ancient Mariner is not one of my favourite songs.
Okay, that's fair enough.
What was the other one? Aces High, you said?
Yeah.
That was never... I always sort of skipped over that when I first got into them. I was like, I don't know why. Not skip the song, but like, it's like I didn't really pay any attention.
Yeah.
So when I did hear it, I kept hearing how legendary it was, and I was like, I don't really know why. I've never really listened to it properly. And when I did, maybe it was overhyped for me. And I'm like, yeah, it's
Okay.
good. It's a good song, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. That's fair enough. That's
What
fair
else
enough.
have we
Yeah.
got on there? Any more?
Power Slave as well is one of the obviously one of the biggest Iron Maiden tracks.
Well, as I've said,
Power
I've got
Slaves.
the Power Slave single cover on my leg
Yeah.
because
Power
I
Slave's
like
great, yeah.
the picture, not because the album or the single was actually got.
But that's cool. Okay, yeah, that's cool. Just a little short explanation as to why exactly. But you've made your point, which is fine. Do you want to do number 9?
Yeah, I'm just getting the Iron Maiden albums up as well. But yeah, so you got Lost for Words, Flash of the Blade, The Duelists, Back in the Village. Back in the Village is okay, which I can't even think of at the moment, So a lot of the songs, they're good, but average to me. Not
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Right, number 9.
That's fair enough.
Shall I go?
Number 9, you go. You go.
Iron Maiden.
Okay, fair enough. My number 9 is Killers.
Cool.
So yeah. I made. I think both those two early albums, obviously, they're around the same sort of thing for us. I like them a lot. I think they're really, really good. I don't think they're the best. I like Paul Di'Anno as a singer. I think he was fantastic, and I think Maiden still would have been huge had he stayed with the band. But I thought Bruce Dickinson's vocals just bring another dynamic that his didn't bring. But yeah, I like Killers is good, but yeah, it's number 9, so it's pretty high up. I love that album, but just not as much as the next ones. What about you on the Iron Maiden album?
They're pretty much the same. Like I said earlier, I listened to it to death. I loved every song from that album, but it's just not as good as some of the other ones now. Now they've released some more.
I really like Running Free from that album. That's a great track.
Was it Remember Tomorrow as well? I remember learning that on bass, and that was awesome.
Oh, tasty.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Let's go to number 8.
Cool. Oh no, I was going to say about Killers actually for you. I
go
listened. So I spent like about a week listening to all of them. Well, maybe about 3 days, going through from the beginning to the end, every single album. And Killers surprised me. I've always thought I wasn't that big a fan of Killers, but there was a lot of songs. Actually, most of these, there was a lot of songs that I liked that I didn't realize was on Killers.
Yeah.
I suppose I've heard them on live albums or not compilation.
Yeah, I mean,
live ones.
The Killers wasn't like the rest of them where there was like 2 or 3 big tracks. I would say like Wrathchild's probably the most known song from Killers.
Yeah,
it's still good, but yeah,
it is. I don't think I liked that very much to start with, but it's grown and grown and grown on me.
Good. Right, number 8.
Fear of the Dark.
Oh, bit of Fear of the Dark action. Okay, I've got Iron Maiden.
Cool.
Iron Maiden, yeah, I like it slightly more than Killers. I like Killers, but I like Iron Maiden slightly more. Yeah, it's good. Fear of the Dark. Yeah, I mean that's got some great. Actually, Fear of the Dark has my number 1 most underrated Maiden song.
Afraid to Shoot Strangers?
No, which is Wasting Love is one of my favourite Maiden songs, and no one knows it.
Yeah. Oh, no, I do enjoy that one.
Yeah, I love that song. And everyone I play that song to, they go, oh my God, that's fantastic. I'm like, I know, it's one of the least known Maiden songs, but I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. For Fear of the Dark, a lot of these songs, they were really, really good. I really like Weekend Warrior. That was a good one. But I think they got old, not old, but they got a little bit old quite quickly for me. I couldn't listen to them over and over and over again.
Okay.
But I still enjoy them, obviously. Yeah. Wasting Love is a good...
Oh, great. But anyway, we'll get there. It's a bit higher on my list.
Yeah.
Number 7.
For me, A Matter of Life and Death.
A Matter of Life and Death. Okay. I'll tell you now, that's not in my top 10.
No? People love it.
I didn't like that album.
No, I've seen a lot of people saying like it's in their top 3.
Really?
Yeah, it's good. But there's nothing really stand out from the album. Nothing. None of the songs are absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, I remember it coming out and everyone making a big deal about it. And that tour, the 2007 one, was absolutely brilliant. That at Download is still the best Maiden performance I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But the album didn't really do it for me. There's a couple of good songs, but apart from that, I'm not too bothered about it. But yeah, it's not even in my top 10. And where was it for you? It was number 7.
Number 7, yeah. What's your 7?
Yeah, so my 7 is Somewhere in Time, which obviously I like a little bit more than you do because it's quite low on your list. Yeah. Why don't you like that album?
I'm just going back to it now. Again, there were a few albums that I didn't really pay much attention to while I was growing up, while I was really getting into them. Somewhere in Time was one of them. So was Peace of Mind, and I think another one. I can't. I'll go back to it in a minute. But yeah, there's nothing here. There's nothing here that really stands out to me.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
Maybe just because I didn't really pay much attention to it when I was getting into them.
Yeah, well, that's fair enough. Some albums you just listen to and you just go, not really. I got more. I was like that with Somewhere in Time. It wasn't one that I would pick out, but then I went back and listened to it, and now I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's a little bit different. They started adding the synths and stuff, and just changed just a tad more. And I think they were heading in the right direction when they done this album for the time that it came out, and I love it. Yeah, like Wasted Years is one of my favourite Maiden songs. It's absolutely incredible. And Caught Somewhere in Time, the intro song, is unreal. I've never heard them play it live. That would be such a good song to start a gig with, I think, but that's just me.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, cool. Number 6.
Virtual 11.
Virtual 11.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. No, we've already discussed why, because it was the first Maiden album you heard. So.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just Future Real, The Clansman. Pretty much all of their songs. There was maybe like one, or there's like the Spanish one, which was a bit weird. But yeah, every single one of those songs is amazing because, like I said, it was what got me into Iron Maiden. When two worlds collide, I fell in love with Blaze as well, and he plays some of those songs on his own tour.
Yeah,
and it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's all right. It's not in my top 10, but it's got some big tunes on it. It's got some big tunes. People always sort of diss Blaze and just go whatever. He's a great singer, a really good singer, really really fantastic singer, and I think he done well with that period of Maiden. It wasn't the best period of Maiden's history, but he did what he could with the material that he had, and I thought he'd done a really good job. Yeah. And that album has got some bangers on it, just not in the top 10 for me.
Yeah.
Where are we? Where are we now? Number 6. Number 6 for me is Fear of the Dark. Like we just said before,
cool.
I think it's got some absolute tunes on it.
Yeah.
So I really like that album. It's almost breaking into my top 5. And I just think it's a great album. It's got some. Like I said, my most underrated Maiden song on that album, and Be Quick or Be Dead is unreal. Yeah, it's unreal. It's such a good song. Afraid to Shoot Strangers is great. We said Wasting Love, Fear of the Dark. It's just I think that's a really solid and great album. But obviously, some people disagree with that, but that's number 6. So shall we break the top 5?
Yeah. Okay. So number 5 for me is The Number of the Beast.
Oh, number 5. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Considered probably in the awe of Maiden to be the most well-known, biggest Iron Maiden album, I would say.
Yeah, and that's probably the reason why it's so high in mine. I mean, a lot. Like I said, I've listened to them a lot. I've said to you before, actually, I've never actually said it on the podcast. But last year, on Spotify they do their like statistics at the end of the year, don't they? And I was apparently in the top 1% of all Iron Maiden fans, like of how much I've listened to them. Even though I mostly listened to podcasts, I was still in the top 1%. And so, I mean, I'm not saying I listen to them more than anybody else. But yeah, there are some songs that I have got a bit tired of. But yeah, the Number of the Beast songs, most of them I haven't, even though I've listened to it a lot.
Yeah, that's fine though. I mean, yeah, we've spoken about before. You go through massive stages with bands where you listen to just a band for God knows how long. I can't do that. I physically can't do that. So I have to have variation. So
yeah,
I think my most listened band of all time on Spotify for me was Faith No More.
Really?
Yeah, that was the top band I've listened to the most, apparently, according to all my statistics. So mine was like, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I bloody love Faith No More a lot, but I didn't think they'd be top. But apparently, that's the band I listened to the most.
Yeah.
Okay, number 5.
With
go.
Sorry. Yeah. Sorry, but with with Number of the Beast, it starts with Invaders, which I would say is a lesser known one of their songs, but I really, really like it still.
Great tune.
The Prisoner, I'm not sure if that. I don't think that was released as a single, but awesome song. I think I actually learnt that on bass, and I think some of these songs stayed around for me because I learnt them. There's not much I learnt. Same with The Trooper. I've never got bored of that because I used to play it in college actually with Josh that we had on, and it was like
nice.
So I've never ever got bored of it because it was because of that I think.
Yeah.
What was your number? Where are we?
My number 5 was Peace of Mind, which is completely in a different place.
14.
Completely different place to where you put it.
Look at this.
I can't believe it. Yeah, I think it's a great. I think at the time, people really didn't like it.
Yeah.
As far as I know, sort of ratings wise, at the time, people were kind of disappointed with it. But that's probably just because all the other albums had been so fantastic. But I still think when you go back and listen to the albums as a whole, I still think it's a bloody brilliant album.
Yeah. See, I was about to say, with you opposing my opinion, my imposter syndrome's kicking in, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'm wrong then. But his opinions, I cannot be wrong.
Yeah,
it's my opinion. Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, like I said, when I went back and listened to all, they all surprised me. Every single album surprised me, and I knew more from every single album than I realised I knew, which was strange.
Well, yeah, because you hear the songs, don't you? But you don't necessarily go and listen to the whole album unless you've done that before. So you probably think, oh, do I know any songs of Peace of Mind? And then you're like, oh, actually, there are quite a few songs of Peace of Mind. But
yeah, there's also quite a few on there that I don't know that well.
Revelations is a great song.
Yeah, I did enjoy that.
That's one of the lesser known ones that people really should know if you're a Maiden fan. It's a fucking great album.
Yeah,
great song. I mean, on a great album. But yeah, anyway, that's mine. So let's go. Who we go now? Now we're getting into the good shit because we're into the top 5 anyway. But number 4.
Number 4.
Go, Ad.
The Final Frontier.
That's fair enough, dude. That's cool.
Your initial reaction doesn't say fair enough.
No, but this is why it's so great. Like,
yeah,
we literally see Maiden albums completely differently, which is brilliant. It's good for a podcast because it means we're not going, oh, you got this one. Oh, yeah. We're looking at things completely different. Okay, so why do you like that album so much?
I don't know. I just absolutely fell in love with it when it first came out. It was a good friend of mine who we used to talk about it and what our favourite songs from it were, and they kept changing. Mine would be like Coming Home, and he would say, "Oh no, his was Starblind," and I'd listen to Starblind a bit, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, such an amazing song!" And pretty much every single song on there was really, really good. I really enjoyed it.
See, I need to go back and listen to this album again because I can tell you right now, right? I listened to it the day it came out, and I was so disappointed with it that I don't think I've listened to it since.
Oh, yeah, go back and listen to it. Skip the first 4 minutes.
So I
wonder if that
I really need to go back. I don't know. Like, the cover's great.
Yeah.
The Final Frontier. I mean, I'm a massive Star Trek fan, so straight away I'm thinking, this is awesome. It's going to be sci-fi based, which is like perfect for me, which is, why wouldn't I like it? But I remember at the time putting it on. I was working in the CEX warehouse. I put it on and I thought, oh my Lord, this is bad. That's what I thought at the time.
Yeah.
Like now it would be in almost the bottom of my Maiden albums, but it's one that I haven't gone back to and given enough time, so I can't really give it a fair sort of rating. So what I'll do is I'll listen to it within the next couple of weeks And on the next show, we'll just do a little quick bit where I'll tell you what I think of the album.
Yeah.
So I can't really rate that one, but from the experience I got from it first, it's low down for me. But I would love to listen to it and enjoy it and then get onto your level.
Yeah, it's so weird because, like you said, I know most of the songs on it off the back of my head. Not off the back of my head. That's probably the wrong analogy, but like
You got them all written down on there, do you?
they're in my head. Like actually, this is one thing I'm going to talk about. This remind me to talk about Final Frontier after we finish our top 10.
Okay.
I don't want to come off of this and then we'll get sidetracked too much.
Okay.
But yeah, so we'll go back to that.
Okay.
Number.
So my
number 4.
My number 4. Yeah, that's right. My number 4 is Brave New World.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, that album, number 4 is nothing to sneer about. I love this album all the way through.
Yeah.
It's a fucking fantastic. I bought it like a week after it came out. I absolutely killed the CD then.
Yeah.
I still kill it now. My brother's a big Maiden fan. Me and him just know everything with this album. I love all the songs start to finish. And I know other people that do. I think with Maiden fans, this one hit really big. It was Brucey's return. And what a way to come back. I mean, I don't think any of the newer albums, like I've said to you before, have even reached the peaks that Brave New World has even got close to.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I think this was the last really great Iron Maiden album, in my view.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it. I love it. You know, Blood Brothers has got great, Brave New World, Out of Silent Planet, Thin Line Between Love and Hate. It's just all.
Yeah.
It's such a good album, like all the way through.
Do you know one of my favourite songs on the album? The Nomad.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. I think
so good.
The podcast I was talking about earlier, he put like a poll up. I think he's only put 3 things on Twitter, maybe 4. Like, what is the worst song out of these 4 on the Iron Maiden album, on the Brave New World album? And Nomad was voted like the worst out of those 4, and I was like, no, it's probably my favourite of like the whole album.
It's a great song. It's not my favourite on the album, but it's a brilliant song.
Yeah, actually, no, it's probably not my
really
favourite
good.
on the album, but it's
No,
very,
but it's great. Yeah,
there's probably 4 or 5 that are joint first, and that's second.
Yeah. Yeah, so like all of the albums now, like in my top 5, are albums I would listen to from start to finish and think that every song is fantastic.
Yeah.
And Brave New World is definitely one of them, without a doubt. But yeah, anyway, let's move on. You're number 3, dude.
You're gonna laugh again.
Why? I'm sorry. I do not. Actually, John, take a step back, right? Because that was really rude. It was just funny because I wasn't expecting you to say The Final Frontier.
Yeah.
So don't take that I was being a dick,
No,
because I really wasn't.
I'm not. It's fine.
Okay.
I think it's funny that you're laughing.
Okay, basically, if you're obviously you're listening to this podcast, but me and Adam can see each other because we're doing this on Discord, and I could see him smiling, grinning before he said it, which already made me grin. So he sort of like reeled me in for that one. But yeah, okay, go.
Number 3, Dance of Death.
Okay, that's fine.
You would have
I'm not
laughed if
gonna
I hadn't
laugh.
say that. No,
No.
I don't mind
no.
anyway. It's fine. Because I know it's weird. It is odd to prefer the newer stuff to the older stuff for a lot of people. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would say, but yeah. So I kind of take pride in that. I'm glad you laughed.
yeah. That's cool. Yeah,
But,
like I said to you before, I like that album.
Yeah.
It's just not my top Iron Maiden albums, but it's got some absolute bangers on it. But you have to admit, right? Worst Maiden cover, hands down, right?
I need to look at this again. You said that earlier. I'm going to just double check. I'm
It's-
pretty sure I know what it looks like. It's a bit weird.
Let's just say the album is CGI, and it was even bad for 2003.
Okay, yeah, I can see how that's bad. I never really paid attention to those people, like the CGI people on the outside.
It's a horrid looking album cover. It really
Yeah.
is. Even then, people were slating it for being bad, and it's how many years later? It's still bad. It's a bad
Yeah.
cover.
Okay, yeah, I agree with you how bad that is. When was it released? 2003. Almost 20 years old,
2003.
that one.
Yeah.
Fuck me. But yeah,
But yeah.
awesome.
No. Yeah.
Awesome album. Again, like you said, I love it start to finish. Just the epic story of the song "Dance of Death." I love it. How I can't think of the right. It gives me the willies. I can't think of anything else to describe it.
No, I get you. Yeah, it gives it like you listen to it, you think this is epic. It gives you like a you get a good feeling from it. And I like that. That's cool.
Well, because you probably won't have it on yours, so let's have a look at some of the other songs. Just to, Rainmaker. No, Wildest Dreams was the first single, wasn't it? And I didn't
that's a good
think
tune.
that was the best. I wasn't overly keen on it. It was okay, but then it goes into Rainmaker and No More Lies,
Very
which they
good.
both released.
Yeah, No More Lies is a great song.
Yeah, Montague is the next one, which is really fucking heavy for Iron Maiden. So I think a lot of people probably don't know that one. And then, like I said, Dance of Death.
I can't think of that.
Yeah.
Literally, I couldn't tell you. So this is another one I think I might have to go back to because it's so high on your list,
Yeah.
but so low on mine. And
see.
we're talking about low for Iron Maiden, so none of this is bad that we're talking about. This is just rating. Iron Maiden is all good, but we're just rating it from good to best good.
Yeah.
There's no real bad here, but this is another album I'm going to have to go back to, I think.
Yeah, I think you should. I mean, I probably definitely listen to, Montague, because that is just odd for Iron Maiden, how heavy it is. And the second from last song, Age of Innocence, that is such an awesome song. You wouldn't surprise if you turned it off before then or just sort of lost concentration. But yeah, if you get that far,
we'll see, man. Yeah, we'll see. If you give me recommendations of particular songs, I'll make sure I get to them and listen and judge. So I'll make sure I get through it. But I might enjoy it. That's another one that's apart from Wildest Dreams, Rainmaker, and No More Lies, and Dance of Death. That's an album where the rest of it I probably haven't listened to in a very long time. So I will go back and give it a listen and see exactly where it stands after that.
Awesome. What's your number 3 then?
My number 3 is Power Slave, which was obviously very low on yours. Yeah, I just think another one I could listen to all the way through. I think it's a great album. Brilliant. And, Aces High to start an album is unreal. That's absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
It's a legendary Maiden album, and I bloody love it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that was the...
Let's kick on. Let's go.
Yeah, cool. Number 2 for me...
Here we go. We're getting there. We're nearly there. Here we go. Number 2. Do it.
You haven't said this one. Have you said this one? I don't think you have. Seventh Son of a Seventh Son is my number 2.
Okay. Why?
So I picked this up when I was in America, of all places. It's the only time I ever had any money. My parents gave me some spending money. I think I was like 15. And I just went for a stroll on my own, and I came across loads of Iron Maiden albums. And I was like, which one do I get? And so I ended up getting Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. I think that's the first one I bought properly. And yeah, I just listened to it to death. Like you said, every single song for this one is absolutely incredible. And I haven't got bored of them. I have not that I've got. I keep trying to reiterate that I haven't got bored of any of their songs, but they still hit.
They're just ones you've heard. Yeah.
They still hit as hard as they always used to whenever I hear it.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. What are we doing? Mine?
Yep. Number 2.
Number 2 for me is Number of the Beast.
Yeah.
The most, like we said before, considered to be the most classic Maiden album, but it was definitely one of the first ones I would have listened to after Live After Death, and I was just like, this album's unreal. I can't believe someone made this, and to be Bruce Dickinson's first album with the band, that's insane as well to write such a legendary album.
Do you want to try and guess my number 1 first?
I think your number 1's Brave New World.
Yeah. Like I said, every single song on that, epic. I love the longer songs as well. And there's quite a few longer songs on there. Every song, awesome.
I agree.
If I had to guess yours, I would say I haven't heard Seventh Son of Seventh Son from you. So is that your number 1?
Yes, my number 1 and Maiden album is Seventh Son of Seventh Son. So it just that's the only one really that was even there was Killers. Iron Maiden and Killers were in the same sort of place for us. They were just swapped, and Seventh Son of the Seventh Son, I had it first, you had it second.
Yeah.
All the rest were quite different, which is
Brave New World. I would say you said was in your top 5.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's up there.
Like you said, it's
the top 5. Oh, so good. Brave New World's so good. We could do a whole episode on just how good Brave New World is, but we won't.
Similar to what I said earlier, Brave New World I listened to a lot when I was playing Final Fantasy 9.
Oh, nice.
lot. So yeah, it always reminds me of that, and vice versa.
Yes, yeah, well, yeah, man. It's one of my favorite albums. Like I said, I've got it here on number 4, but you could easily swap it for 3 or 2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But I would say definitively, I think the best album, start to finish, is Seventh Son of the Seventh Son. I think it's just unbelievable. I listen to the album and I think, fucking hell.
Yeah.
How the fuck? This is just nuts. And download 2013, Maiden played Seventh Son of a Seventh Son all the way through, start to finish. And I pretty much had an erection the entire time. So
Did they?
yeah.
I don't remember that.
Do you not remember that?
No.
They did. They had all the stage and it was all set up like all the blue, like all the ice. And they played Seventh Son start to finish. Then they played tracks afterwards.
I don't remember that.
I'm pretty sure you were there.
I
You've been to every
definitely
download.
was there.
They had the Spitfire fly over. Any memories of
See, I
that?
don't remember that. I know I've heard a lot about it. No, I do remember it, but I think I get it's the third time tonight. I think I get mixed up because they had something similar at Sonisphere as well, didn't they?
Right. Okay.
They had planes.
I don't know if they've done Seventh
over.
Son.
It was like a dogfight at Sonisphere,
Oh, okay.
something like that. But yes, no, I do remember
Yeah,
the planes.
okay.
I do remember. I was sort of half joking. I do remember the stage setup being all blue. I need to see it again. I think I have to Google some pictures.
Well, there's videos of the set on YouTube from download.
Yeah.
So that will remind you. But for me, that was like probably the second best time I've seen Maiden. That was excellent. And doing my favorite album all the way through, I was like, wow, this is something else.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, that is. So those are our favourite Maiden albums. Quickly, though, Adam's going to quickly run through some songs for us.
Yeah, so I did my top 10 songs in no particular order.
Okay.
It wasn't easy. There was lots I put in and I took out. First, I had to put Hallowed Be Thy Name. That was my favourite song for a long, long time. There's been a few that have sort of overtaken it, but it's top 10 songs is like liquid. It's always changing. It's never...
Yeah.
So I'll just run through the rest of them. I won't try and give a little speech about every single one I say, but The Prisoner, The Trooper, Afraid to Shoot Strangers, The Clansman, Out of the Silent Planet, Age of Innocence, When the Wild Wind Blows. I did have the other long song, Empire in the Clouds, in there as well, but I had to take that out. But When the Wild Wind Blows, so epic. Dance of Death, Ghost of the Navigator, and Dream of Mirrors. Is that
nice?
Is that too many? I think there's 11 there. I didn't take one out.
That's fine.
If you'll notice, there was no Seventh Son songs in there.
Yeah.
Which is weird because it's my second favourite album. But like you said, it's just awesome start to finish. There's no standout songs, but the whole album is just standout. It's so good.
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Although a lot of that normally ends onto Maiden playlists. See, some of the songs from that would be in if I'd done top Maiden songs.
Yeah.
But I didn't do that. But but you know, again, I think even that ours would be slightly different. But there's a lot that you said in there that I think fucking great, fantastic.
Yeah. And it was
so it's awesome.
Three songs from Brave New World all made it. And even though that's amazing start to finish, Out of Silent Planet, Ghost and Navigator, and Dream of Mirrors, they all just stand a little bit above everything else, even though the whole album's amazing.
Yeah, dude.
Well, do you have any campsite fuckery stories, or do you want to skip it this week?
We'll skip it this week. With so much stuff in here, we don't need to do it.
Okay. Oh, I was going to go back to something, wasn't I?
You were going to go back to which album?
Which album was I talking about?
We talking about Dance of Death?
Dance of Death, yes. And Final Frontier, maybe both of them sort of made me think of it. Because, like, you know when you're listening to an album and you know what song is coming on next, you know, it all sounds right, and they sort of become, some of their favourite songs on the album become sort of anthems. They're epic. And I was wondering with this new one, how many listens will it take for those songs to be to feel the same as some of the other songs on the albums? Because there was a time when I listened to Final Frontier for the first time and I didn't know what I was listening to. I didn't know what was coming up. And it was weird. I obviously there's probably no answer to this, but I just thought it was
Yeah.
interesting to think about.
I think it depends on the mood you're in. If something on the album grabs you, there's probably tons of different factors as to why an album becomes one of your favorite albums.
Yeah.
And others you listen to and go, it's all right, I guess.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
It's
but
just weird, isn't
not
it?
necessarily being like a favorite album, but the songs are like epic enough to be an Iron Maiden song, you know.
Yeah.
Where I would say a lot of the Book of Souls songs aren't epic enough to be an Iron Maiden song. But that sounds a bit too harsh, a bit harsher than I really think.
I agree with everything you say about Book of Souls.
Yeah, no, it's just like it just doesn't feel epic enough, and I'm sure Senjutsu will be, but it's like how long will it take? How many listens to it? Is it a certain like how many listens, or is it time that makes an album do that? It's weird.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. Well, I'm going to give it a few more listens and see if I believe it's ever going to fall into that realm, or if it's going to be one of the Maiden albums that goes by the wayside. But yeah, interesting. Maybe we'll talk about it in a couple of years' time or whatever, and go our like reflection thoughts on the album, where about we think it fits into like the Maiden catalogue or whatever.
Yeah, it's gone a little bit philosophical, but. Yeah, I thought it was interesting when I thought about it the other day. I thought, like, because it's not necessarily just a whole album, but like there might be certain like 2 songs that are just awesome, but they're not there yet because I haven't listened to them enough.
Yeah. Well, we'll give it a few more listens, and then we'll see what we think of it and where it's going to fit in the future.
Yeah, awesome. Right, so are we calling it a day there then? I think we probably should.
Yeah. I think that was a good build-up to like the main part of the show. What people wanted to hear was how different our Maiden albums were.
Yeah, definitely. That was very, very interesting as well. And
yeah,
I enjoyed it, and I enjoy.
Yeah, that was cool.
I enjoy shocking people when I say I love their new stuff. But it's surprising. I feel I don't know. Maybe not surprising. Anyway, let's stop it. I'm just gonna be reiterating something we've already said, or rewording something we've already said. It doesn't matter, right? We're gonna go. We are definitely gonna go. We will see you in 2 weeks when we will hopefully be talking about 2003 again. Maybe we'll add a few other bits in there because there's not too much we want to talk about 2003, but we should hopefully still be getting on somebody who saw Metallica that year. But we might change it all up like we did this episode, and we just go fuck the system. We are not talking.
Well, this
about
one this one just fell perfectly as the new Maiden album came out, and we'd already previously talked about doing a Maiden sort of special, so they just went hand in hand, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But with the 2003 one, we'll have that in there. We'll have the interview, and we'll scatter some other stuff in there to make it a full episode. So I mean, we've already done an episode about 2003, so. If you haven't heard that already, go back and listen to that. We've already done like a 2003 special, and we're just going to sort of touch on those points and little bits we didn't talk about, hopefully, in the next episode.
Yeah, awesome. Oh, and I should probably say, I said the last couple of episodes of Bloodstock, if you are here just to listen to our thoughts on the Iron Maiden album and whatever else, we hope you have enjoyed what you've heard, and we'll hopefully come back and listen to some more, or go back to the beginning and listen from the beginning. We've done some cool things. We just have a lot of that. We just have a lot of fun, don't we? We don't really take it too seriously.
We do, and it's just a conversation between 2 mates that love music and download.
Yeah.
So if that's enjoyable to people, sweet as.
Cool. So yeah, if you want to reach out to us with about anything you've heard on this episode, whether that's stories for campsite fuckery, anything we've missed out from a particular topic, any corrections, feedback, or suggestions for topics you want to hear about, then the places you can reach us are on Facebook and Twitter as Dear Download Podcast, on Instagram as Dear Download Podcast, but with underscores between the words. You can email us at deardownload2003. That's 2003 at gmail.com. We will hopefully be opening I should hopefully be sending an invitation link out to our Discord as well. So if you wanna jump in and just have a chat with us, or see who else is in there and have a chat with them, whatever reason, just hopefully we can build a cool community that just wants to get to know other people. Maybe it's whether it's for getting to know people for download next year or whatever. Yeah, keep an eye out for that. I'll probably post it on everything we've got. We should also be getting onto YouTube for the third episode in a row. I've said that now, I think. But yeah,
we are getting on there. We are. We're working on it now.
There's a few things you can do to help us out. You can tell your friends about us. That's the best thing you can do for us or any other podcast. Sharing and interacting with us on social media as well does absolutely loads. It just sort of shows other people that's what you're doing, and they might see it and go, "Oh, I want to get involved in this conversation." Not that I post much that can be talked about online. I don't do any of this shit like, "Oh, what was your favorite?" Oh, I can't think of it. I've seen some other podcasts post some absolute random shit recently just to get people talking, and I tend to stay away from doing that because it's clickbait, basically, I suppose. Like we said earlier, it's just clickbaiting people into commenting.
Yeah, that is a bit dread. We'll try and stick to what we know. If there's something cool we want to post, we'll post it, but we won't just be posting load of random shit to try and get people to listen to our podcast, because that's just not what we're about.
Yeah. Simon, where can people find you?
People can find me on Instagram as Fonzie_Simon, and they can find my YouTube channel as Simon Bond on YouTube. I've done a Bloodstock vlog recently, which you should check out, and I've got loads of other stuff on there. There's going to be loads of stuff happening, obviously building up to the new festival season, so should have some shit on there soon.
Awesome. And I'm still boring online. You don't want to find me anywhere. Just find Dear Download stuff. That's all you need. Cool. So that's everything. So it's goodbye from Simon.
A goodbye.
And goodbye from me. Goodbye.